Tonight, I want you to step outside and look up at the moon. It looks calm, doesn't it? Peaceful, like it has always been there, and honestly, like it always will be. But welcome to this explainer, where we are going to dive into a truly impossible, mind-bending scenario. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, looking out your bedroom window and finding the moon completely gone. No massive explosion in the sky, no emergency broadcast on the news, no dramatic goodbye. Just gone. So what if the moon actually just disappeared tomorrow? At first, you might think it's not a big deal. After all, it's really just a giant silent rock floating out there in space, right? Well, wrong. You'd be utterly wrong. Because without the moon, our Earth would immediately begin to change. Its sudden absence would permanently alter our oceans, the global climate, the actual length of our days, and ultimately, the future of life itself. Okay, let's decode the future and see exactly what would happen. Chapter 1. The First Dark Night. The very first immediate consequence of the moon vanishing wouldn't be some massive earthquake. It would be an unprecedented, pitch-black level of darkness. For us humans living in brightly lit cities, this might just seem like a minor inconvenience. But nature would face an instant shock. Think about sea turtles. They use the subtle glow of moonlight to find the ocean after hatching. Without it, they'd completely lose their path. Millions of birds that rely on the moon for nighttime navigation during migration, they'd be thrown completely off course. Countless insects that depend on lunar light cycles would just be thrust into total ecological confusion. Millions of animals would instantly lose one of nature's oldest, most reliable guidance systems.
Chapter 2. Tides and Ocean Ecosystems.
Now, the darkness is really only the beginning, because the loss of the moon's gravity triggers a slow-moving disaster in our waters. Currently, strong lunar tides physically drive our marine ecosystems through that familiar daily rise and fall of sea levels. But in a future without the moon, we're basically stuck with just solar tides. Tides wouldn't completely vanish because, the sun's gravity still pulls on our oceans, but these solar tides would be incredibly weak compared to what we're used to. And why does that matter? Well, entire marine food chains depend on those strong, predictable tidal cycles. Without normal tides washing nutrients in and out every single day, complex coastal ecosystems would literally begin to starve. Countless species of fish, crabs, and shellfish that have evolved over millions of years to thrive in those coastal zones would struggle to survive. Eventually, this massive disruption would ripple outward, completely shifting the balance of the entire global ocean.
Chapter 3. Earth's Tilt and Climate.
But surprisingly, the oceans aren't even the biggest problem. The real hidden disaster is what happens to Earth itself. Right now, our planet sits perfectly tilted at about 23.5 degrees. This exact angle is the whole reason we have our predictable seasons. It's why we get the beautiful rhythm of summer, autumn, winter, and spring. And the reason that number stays the same is because the moon acts as a massive lunar stabilizer. Its immense gravitational pull works exactly like a giant anchor in space, keeping Earth's 23.5-degree tilt relatively steady as we cruise around the sun. Without it, Earth's tilt would become totally unstable, wobbling wildly over thousands and millions of years. And the result of that global wobble? Completely unpredictable and extreme climate shifts. We are talking about a terrifying future where regions that are currently tropical could swing to freezing cold, while ice caps could melt into boiling wastelands. We'd see highly volatile weather systems violently sweeping across a dangerously transforming world. Chapter 4. The Secret to Complex Life. Now, I want you to just let the weight of this stark statement sink in for a second. Without the moon, human civilization might never have existed. Seriously. Scientists believe that it was the moon's billions of years of environmental stabilization, calming the wild climate and guiding the oceans, that actually created the incredibly rare, perfect conditions for complex, intelligent life to form at all. Without that giant rock keeping things steady, there'd be no cities, no technology, no history, and maybe no you. A rock orbiting Earth quietly created human history, and most of us never even think about it.
Chapter 5. Even our days would change.
And we're still not done, because the moon's influence goes so deep that it literally controls time. Billions of years ago, Earth spun so incredibly fast that a single day lasted only a few hours. But over time, the moon's gravity has acted like a gradual cosmic break, slowly bringing our planet's rotation down to the 24-hour cycle we enjoy today. If the moon vanished, we lose that braking effect. Over millions of years into the future, Earth's rotation would evolve completely differently,
fundamentally changing the day and night cycles for whatever life is left.
Chapter 6. Would humanity actually survive? So, the big question on everyone's mind, would humanity survive? Well, take a breath, because in the short term, yes, your immediate life wouldn't just end. Our cities would remain perfectly intact, our atmosphere isn't going to just blow away into space, and people would essentially continue their daily routines. You would still wake up, go to school, go to work, watch YouTube, and basically just carry on.
But future generations would inherit a profoundly different, terrifying planet. That short-term survival is just an illusion of safety. Long-term, our descendants would have to navigate a world with weakening climate stability, dying ocean ecosystems, and violently shifting weather patterns. The slow-motion collapse of the environment as we know it would make long-term survival an absolutely massive technological and biological challenge.
Chapter 7. A beautiful but sad sky.
Amidst all this ecological chaos, there would actually be one surprisingly beautiful yet deeply emotional side effect. Without the bright glare of the moon washing out the darkness, our view of the cosmos would be instantly upgraded. In this new sky, thousands of additional stars would suddenly pop out, totally visible to the naked eye. The Milky Way would shine significantly brighter across the horizon. Space would feel deeper, bigger, and infinitely more mysterious. It would be breathtaking, but also strangely unsettling, knowing a massive piece of our world is just missing.
Imagine a child born hundreds of years into this dark sky future. They'd see photos, they'd watch old videos, they'd read history books, but they would never experience it themselves. They would only know the moon as this mythical, glowing object from ancient history that once inspired poets, guided sailors, and quietly watched over humanity. So, the absolutely crucial takeaway from all of this data is simply this. The moon quietly shapes our existence every single day. It is far, far more than just a glowing companion in the night sky. It's the silent architect of our oceans, the guardian of our climate, and the very reason Earth became the perfectly balanced planet we call home. Which leaves us with one final provocative thought. If the moon did disappear tomorrow, what do you think would be the absolute biggest problem for humanity to overcome? Would it be those collapsing ocean food chains, the wild and unpredictable climate shifts, or maybe something psychological we haven't even considered? Take a moment to really think about how deeply connected we are to that giant rock in the sky. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions, and I'll see you in the next one.